it's the anniversary of the Naked Gun release today.
Oh, I love the Naked Gun.
So we were thinking, like, is Naked Gun a sports movie? Or if it was Game 7 and your favorite team is playing, which umpire would you want behind the plate? Frank Drebin, Angel Hernandez, Joe West.
Who was, by the way, in that scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joe West was in that scene in Naked Gun.
Or a robot or a blind dog. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, sure. Can I back you up first? Let's set the stage. Is the national anthem being sung by Enrico Palazzo?
yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Enrico Palazzo, who was also on Michael J. Fox's basketball team in Teen Wolf. So, yes, I'm going to go – of course I'm going with Drebin. I'm absolutely going with Frank Drebin. Listen, baseball a little bit tedious. Need a little excitement. You need the demonstrative strike calls. You need someone who's going to try to see things differently. And also we'll put on a little bit of a show.
Yes.
I remember there was that phenom where they had the guy racing the people around the warning track, the racer guy, and he would run them down. And Drebin could do all of that too. I'm into it. Yes, Frank Drebin, even if there is royalty in the ballpark.
And frisk the players as they come to the plate or try to grab the pop-up.
And by the way, Rich, he runs a tight ship. He will use a dustbuster and a vacuum on home plate to keep it clean. You got to keep it nice and tidy in the batter's box. With all the hysterics about his strike calls and his inaccuracies, he does run and he ejects people. He ejects the umpire.
He does.
He's not afraid to give someone the heave-ho. So I'll go Drebin for sure behind the plate.
He could put Krishoni in a rundown. He could do all of that.
Oh, yeah. And Dr. Joy's brother.
By the way,
I need the same crew as well.
By the way, let's just go down this wormhole here because it's so great.
Okay.
Is that when Irv, Mooch, Kurt, and I did the London game for the first time, a 4-man booth, the number of times I got on Twitter that it reminded them of the Naked Gun booth with Dick Vitale and Dick Enberg and Tim McCarver and Dr. Joyce Brothers at the very end with Kurt Gowdy. That was. That's just one of the best booths, especially when Mel Allen goes, "How about that?" after one of those crazy moments on the field, and then that's the other part about it too is
the player's head comes off when he goes to drive to get
exactly.
How about that?
That
Dick
is
Enberg's just frozen.
That's my favorite part of the montage is of the send up because that's the best part about the Naked Gun is the last scene. Is the send-up of baseball from the spitting to at the time whenever there was a lot of doctoring of the balls. I think the Necro brothers were the culprits at the time when this movie came out. Is also the montage of all the wacky moments that we used to have on the Diamond Vision, to use the phrase at the time, screen to keep us entertained in between timeouts. As a car hit the player as he was sliding into second base, being mauled by a tiger. Right. How about that? Oh, my gosh. Just all-time
and
great.
I think in the meantime, while that's going on, you also they're sending up the concessions in which the Queen of England has to pass beers and hot dogs
to Ricardo Montalban,
one of which has a finger in it.
That Ricardo Montalban ate a finger instead of a hot dog.
That's right.
Fantastic. And so I showed that to my kids the other day. My 12 and 9-year-old saw it.
Yeah. How'd it go?
And it went great. Although the scene where Frank Drebin said everywhere he looks, it reminds him of his ex-girlfriend. And then you saw those two domes on the side of the road. We let that one go without any explanation. But I had to explain to him who Reggie Jackson was. And I said that would be the equivalent of, say, Mike Trout. If it was today, if Mike Trout was attempting to. But I also had to explain to him the Queen is the same. These are
same Queen.
Same Queen.
Exactly the same Queen. I wonder, Rich, did you have to explain to them about Nordberg? Let's not bury the lead here.
It was a question that Susie did ask me. What do we do? No, we let that one slide too, Kyle.
Oh, heroin, Frank. I love you too, Nordberg. When we get better, we'll go sailing together.
We did explain to them that OJ was, a famous football player. Yes, we did kind of, but and then we just left it there. It's kind of like those awkward moments you see on news shows these days, where all the pundits are arguing, and then the anchor goes, "Well, we'll just leave it right there." We've got to leave it there.
Yeah, but listen, Rich, I feel like you maybe are underestimating the parental job you did going through that. You have to go through that movie with a machete. There is a full body prophylactic scene. There's a scene where Frank Drebin is on the ledge and he's running into a statue who has all kinds of body parts and all kinds of things. It gets dicey.
Yep. Yes, and then there was a stuffed beaver as well. But
thank you. I just had it stuffed. Let me take care of that for you. I love that movie.
Naked Gun. How many years ago is?
2 sequels.
That's right.
And the equivalent that they attempted in the final act of Naked Gun 33 1/3, instead of doing the baseball game, they did the Oscars. And
That's right.
Leslie Nielsen was up there with Raquel Welch, and they thought he was Phil Donahue. They do a whole Oscars send-up. So they kept going with that. I love those movies so much, and I miss Leslie Nielsen.
I agree with you. Kyle Brandt here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, so Jamel.
1988, guys. 1988.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.